lady, Miss I Candy, and I'm here for If You Like It, I Love It. We are streaming right now on Facebook Live and YouTube. This is the show where we come every Wednesday and we talk about reality TV. We have two shows right now that are in our rotation, which is The Housewives of Atlanta and Love and Marriage Huntsville. This week, The Housewives of Atlanta actually did not air. And I was okay with that because I was trying to keep up with a lot of stuff that was going on with the other show. So I want to definitely get to that because I am ready to talk about that. I have done my research. I have formed opinions, and I have just some shady stuff that I need to say to just get off my chest. But Karma, my lovely co-host, who just popped up.
Girl, it's been a week, hasn't it? It's been a time, ain't it?
It's past. Yesterday was a holiday for people that celebrated, so we had to go to work. So it feels like Monday to me right now.
I don't know if we really celebrated. I just feel like the 4th is just a day that we barbecue. I don't feel like we make a big deal out of the 4th.
Right. Because I didn't go nowhere. I didn't do nothing. My dad did grill and we ate, barbecue.
That's what we do. We gonna eat and we gonna take our day off. If we ain't gonna do nothing else.
We barbecue on days that ain't even holidays. Like we like to barbecue. It's summertime,
summertime. We barbecue and it's just another day, but we just get paid to be off.
Right. We was
off. If you're not in that job field where you gotta go, we just enjoy the little off day. We don't really give a damn about it.
I remember being a teenager, and back when, I was not educated on holidays and stuff and choosing which ones I felt like I should celebrate and which ones I shouldn't. And 4th of July was a holiday, nationally. So for me as a teenager, it was a holiday. So I remember getting outfits, trying to be red, white, blue outfit. You know what I mean? I remember my daddy doing the fireworks, all that kind of stuff. But we, usually, I'm in my family home now. But last year where I was living, my street would all do it. Like everybody on the street, all the families. So I would just sit out there and watch. But I have not celebrated the 4th of July in a while. It's been a minute.
We didn't do too much either. We just watch people do the fireworks. We don't even buy.
Gotcha. But okay, we back. It ain't no holiday for us. We did not take off this week. How about that? So we gonna go into Candi Speak on It. Now I told Karma I watched up to 48 minutes, which it was almost done. I almost finished it, but being a mom, trying to maintain, do this. I'm watching it in between, trying to have to keep pausing it. So I got 48 minutes in, and it stopped when it was getting good too. So I'm like, dang. And I was like, oh shoot, I got 2 minutes until the show starts. So Karma saw it. So Karma's definitely gonna fill me in and give me the stuff I don't know about the Speak on It. So no Housewives, guys, but Candi did do a Speak on It. And this Speak on It, she had Tamika Scott from xscape. And me and Karma actually came together because of the SWV and the xscape show, the R&B, the Queens of R&B show. It's dope that we get to talk about that because it's basically an update on, some of the stuff that we saw on the show and on social media while the show was airing. They definitely covered a lot of that stuff. And it was nice to hear, some updates about it. So I want to first let y'all, get a couple of graphics in. No, that ain't it. This other show. Sorry, my bad. Let me see. Okay, so yes, Candi and her Speak on It. What I did like, Karma, was, and I was trying to do a screen recording, but I just ain't have enough time, where they introduced a Speak on It, and then Tamika was like, Speak on it. I was like, oh, we switched the whole intro.
Because she gonna add some runs on there. That's a 90s artist. She gonna add some runs. And I would love an xscape Speak on It intro. Like if she can write a little jingle.
Yes. And have them
then give me some 3-part harmony to speak on it. Like I think that'll be real cute.
Nice. That'll be real nice. And you know what? Okay, so I personally have liked Tamika since Meet the Browns, right? The play. That's when I realized that she was from xscape. She was a person. She wasn't like the girls in xscape. She was actually a person because she was doing her own thing. And I liked her. She seemed cool. Like whenever I would see interviews, I was like, oh, she cool. I like Tamika. Even though Tamika and Candi fell out that one time when she was like, well, she slept with his daddy. Like, I still like Tamika when she said that. Like, she was the sister that had the personality that I could relate to the most. Like, shady, but still a good person for real. Like, you go low, I'm gonna go to hell. You know, shit, I might even have to lie on you to go to hell, but I'm gonna do it because you took me there. Like, that's kind of the way she is. And I was like, I feel her, you know. And then she was able to come back and hold herself accountable and apologize on a public platform to Candi and actually mean it. When she apologized, like when I watched the Still Kicking It reality show they did, and Tamika got on that stage and apologized to Candi, it felt so genuine. And usually when I see people apologize, it'd be like, oh, okay, that's what's up. You know, and they look out. But I felt that apology because she was like, I did it to you on a public platform, and I need to apologize to you on a public platform. A lot of times we got to tell people that. Like, no, you blasted them on social media, get on social media. Like, it's not they just actually do it. The fact that she actually wanted to do that, I like that. I really like that about her. And that's what she really won me over, right? That moment, she had her little choir robe on. She was like, sister, I hurt you, sister. That was when I was like, I like her because she seems really authentic every time I've seen her, from when she was like a teen on Escape. When I was a little girl watching them on the Mickey Mouse Club perform, right? Because I was a little girl. I'm not their age. Just wanted to clarify. But I'm still a millennial, okay? But no, so when she was on the stage and apologizing, I just felt like she's always kind of been herself, and you can watch the growth of her life. I just liked her. I really liked her, that moment. And then anytime after that moment that she apologized, I've seen her. I've always liked her. She's like the girl, you know, the home girl you could talk to and laugh with. She say certain stuff. She wear them ghetto fabulous 90 hairdos and weaves. You be like, that is like my big cousin Tracy. You know, like remind you of.
I didn't like her. I didn't like her. That sounded like such a touching thing. I didn't like her. I thought when I first saw Just Kicking It, I felt it was an opportunist move.
Okay.
I could not tell if they were genuine or not, especially because Tiny sometimes get into this chameleon role where she just kind of changes with it, that I wasn't sure how I felt about Tamika until SWV and Escape.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to like her, but I always felt like Tasha was the problem.
Me too. And I think that's why, like, even with Just Kicking It, like Still Kicking It, when Tasha was trying to make herself seem like the one that was getting them back together, because that was the impression I got when I watched it, was like, oh, right. She's saying, oh, I called her, we need to do this as the group, it's for the group, we need to do it as a group, like Tasha kept saying it. I still had no type of like connection.
I didn't believe her. We be feeling that bullshit. I didn't believe her then.
And I watched Unsung. I knew the history of Escape, and I knew that you wanted to go solo, and your solo was a bust. So I kind of felt like
I saw opportunists, like, because when they did the Unsung, Tiny said that Candi wasn't the issue on the Unsung, right? So like, if you were like a real fan and you kind of watch them, I always kind of side eye Latasha and Rocky, and I side eye Tamika just because I always felt like she just was a ride or die for her sister. So it really wasn't until the SWV and Escape show when I really felt like I was seeing Tamika, not Latasha's sister Tamika.
Gotcha. Now I can agree. It actually had her step out as her own person more. I think the moment I realized that she was her own person was when I saw her on Meet the Browns. Because when I saw her on Meet the Browns, I started doing research about her. And I saw that she was in other movies and stuff. I've seen Candi as Candi, right? I've seen Tiny as Tiny. I've seen Tamika as Tamika. I've never seen Latasha as anything but the big girl in Escape. That did like
insane.
Like, that was all, and it's not like shade to Latasha, but I never saw you
any independent projects that was successful afterwards.
I never got to get to know her. I never got to get to know her personality.
We got to see our R&B divas.
Yeah, and even on that, it was very like, and that might be part of why I never liked Tasha, because I couldn't get with her on R&B divas. I just her personality ain't click with me.
I feel like because we were so focused on how horrible Nikki Gilbert and stuff was, she faded to black. Like, her on R&B divas was like Maybe like a Drew or a Metals or something. Like somebody, if they're not there, you wouldn't know they wasn't there. And honestly, that's what she gave me on R&B Divas. I wouldn't have really known you were there.
Yeah, she did. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like anything about it where I was like, I like her. Like watching R&B Divas, I liked oh, that's hard. I liked Monifa, right?
Yeah.
I liked Selena Johnson.
Yeah.
It was like certain people. I wanted to like Kiki so bad. I like Kiki's voice. I became really obsessed with Kiki's vocals, but I did not like Kiki as a person. She seemed messy and irritating to me. So it was like certain people. Nikki Gilbert could not stand. Kelly Price. I still don't like Kelly Price. Like Kelly Price.
Kelly did it for me, girl. I can't really listen to a Kelly Price song as nasty as you was on R&B Divas. You know, and even with Kiki, she was messy and annoying, but I felt like I could tolerate Kiki because I just feel like she needed a lot of therapy. Like she wasn't messy, trauma filled, like spiteful, like manipulative. She just was messy, just regular. Like, girl, that's Kiki. You know, like you just do one of them, like
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, but with R&B Divas, all of it, the one I did not like the most was Kelly Price. Like Kelly Price. Ooh. Kelly Price, I'd like still. Like it, I just don't like her.
You know who number 2 for me is Golden Brooks.
Oh, I don't like her either.
The way Golden treated Constance Vaughn.
Yes, didn't like it. Yeah.
Didn't like her.
You know what? Even still, with Golden, I could watch Girlfriends and be like Maya. With Kelly Price, girl, I'll be like turning her songs off. Like, and that's bad because normally I can separate the artist and the art. But Kelly Price rubbed me so wrong. And I don't even, at this point, I try to like block it out. I don't even know why no more because I don't watch it. Like I ain't played it back to really like see. I probably should do it to see now. I'm a little mature. You know, my patience is better now. So maybe I can look at it in a different perspective. But she rubbed me the wrong way so bad. If you go through my YouTube videos, go back to like 13, 12 or something. I did a Dear Kelly Price video. I should probably watch that. That'll show me why I ain't like her. Because I did not like her. I really did not like Kelly Price.
Yeah, she was something.
She was bad. So with Latasha on it, I didn't care. Like, yeah, she just didn't. I didn't gain anything though. Where I was like, oh, I like her. Let me Google her music. Let me see what she was doing. Like, I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like with Tamika, I did care. I saw her at one thing. I said, oh, what else she doing? I saw she was doing other stuff. You know what I mean? And then I would see small interviews, and I liked her personality. Tasha, I ain't never cared. So seeing her on the last one, it made it even worse. Like, oh my God, girl, like, I really want you to win. That's the sad thing. I do. I would like you to actually get this dream. You want to sing so bad. You want a solo career so bad. I would like it to work for you. But you can't be nasty. And that's, you know, watching this speak on it was giving me that nasty vibe. Like, Tasha, you're getting close to Kelly Price. And I hold grudges.
Close? Kelly Price ain't stole nobody money.
That's true, but I don't know, girl. I gotta go back to see why I canceled her. I really blocked Kelly Price out in my mind.
Girl, Latasha Scott is to me, if she ain't neck and neck with Nikki Gilbert, she right below it. Because remember, the whole reason why we gotta pack it up is because Rocky had threatened Nikki Gilbert's husband.
Yes.
So like their toxicity, like they pretty much neck and neck for me. But when you add on stealing your sister money,
right,
baby.
A sister that's always like had your back. It's a whole bunch. So okay, let's go. So one thing I want to start off with is Tamika Scott. Girl, you better take these 15 minutes that you got and you better make a whole bunch of coins. She has a cookbook out, y'all. She got spices out. I am going to order her spices. Again, I told y'all I like her. I like her and I try to support the people that I like. So yes. You can go to her on her Instagram, it links her other stuff where you can get her cookbook, you can get her spices, see which one. And then y'all see the actual spices that she has. They got flavors: beef flavor, poultry, seafood, vegetable, all-purpose, barbecue, Cajun, and a sweetener. I want to know what that sweetener is. Is it like a sugar or is it like an equal or sweet and low or is it something else?
I don't know. I'm going to try to buy a set and I'll let you know. I'm gonna just try to see if she sell them by the set.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, y'all check her out, support her. She got a new song out with Method Man as well. That's cute. So I wanted to give her that before we go in, because when we go to the next topic, I'm just gonna go. So, so this is your Candy Yam show. I'm gonna let you lead this one. Come on.
So her and Tamika doesn't speak on it, and a lot of it was a lot of regurgitation. A lot of it we went backwards before going forward. So they kind of, discussed a little bit about, the show, and Tamika did kind of reiterate some things we already knew, like, trying to contact her sister prior to coming on the show, wasn't being successful in that. Talked about, how they fell out, and, with the Vegas trip. One of the things that was interesting in the early part of it was that she did mention that Latasha had what am I looking for? Latasha had, like, right after the Vegas trip and them talking, damn, what did she say that Latasha had did? Because that was the first one. I was like,
the Vegas thing where she took.
No, it wasn't the Vegas thing. She said they asked about the money. She said she still ain't got the money back, but she kind of had expanded on a little bit with the whole money thing about, of course, that it was way more than that. And they asked about what was it like with just the three of them without Candi, because they toured for a minute. And she said that Latasha was isolating to her then, and that it was Latasha and Tiny.
And she said, I felt like Candi, right? She
felt like Candi.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Like, so my question to you is, if you felt like Candi then, what made you apologize on just kicking it instead of during that hiatus break, when you start to recognize yourself that Latasha was isolated?
I think that was that when that's when they did Xscape 3. But no, that was after the apology, because she apologized before they went separate and did their tour.
But she said she felt like Candi when they were Xscape 3. So they were touring with the three of them, came back as 4, and then went back as 3. Right. Because they wanted to do new music.
When they came back as 4, that's when she apologized.
Right, but they went as a threesome before Candi came back, because remember they was wondering why they wanted Candi back, because they were making money, and then they was like, oh, we should have Candi back, and then it was a just kicking it tour. So if you were feeling isolated when there was 3 of y'all touring before you got back as that foursome on Just Kicking It, why you didn't reach out to Candi then? What was it?
If you want to like be for real, it don't even take that. If she can acknowledge that they isolated her, because she said it. Yeah, we isolated you. It don't take her being isolated herself to know they isolated her. You knew y'all did it.
Right. But remember,
you know y'all did it.
Right. But I will say that it seemed like Tamika followed Latasha's lead and loyalty to her. So what I get confused about is, well, I get you lying and doing all these things and isolating Candi on behalf of your sister, but when she started isolating you,
why didn't
you know what I mean? Because now she's not even respecting the loyalty, and somewhere in this time she stole some money.
No, I think that her sister and her relationship has probably always been like that, where because her sister and the mom isolates her. You know what I'm saying? Out of that whole situation. So I feel like even though her sister would do that to her sometimes, she still had a loyalty to her sister, even though her sister treated her like trash. It's always been like that. It's something that had to click recently. Whatever the heck that was recently, where it clicked, where it was like, you know what? My loyalty to you is now over. Because even though she did, her sister stole from her. This is 10 years ago. You still was rocking with your sister, still being loyal to your sister, still having her back. So something later, I don't know what it was this last time, because we ain't really got clarity about what moment triggered her to be like, you know what? I don't even care. Because
the show wasn't at 30,000 plus.
Right.
So I like that Candi interview, Tamika, but I kind of wish it might have been a little separate in a little bit, because there's some other questions I want to really, really get to. And I feel like the first kind of 30 to 40 minutes was regurgitated information that if you watch the show, you already know. She went into, how Latasha basically stole they joint deal. They did admit that Latasha's album sold 4 Coca-Cola cans. It's doing cardboard. It's doing triple aluminum foil. Because and she did go into about how they were supposed to do it as a joint deal. And when she said 50-50 and that she also wanted songwriting credits, that didn't pan out. What she also said on her individual platform. Let's get into the real thing that was like new information for everybody. Is that there was a question that was asked from Jamie, the producer, about what would it take to get to the foursome again. And Tamika said Rocky gotta go because he got a temporary protection order on him. And until Rocky goes, there is no way in hell Latasha is coming back. What did you feel when you heard about that TPO? Because she just like wanted to breeze past that.
So that was the part where it was it for me. And I'm like, I gotta go live. So I don't know. Was the reason for it the tape and all that kind of stuff?
She said it was the threatening messages. So we only know, it sounds like it's been a few, because the way that she described it was like, about the sex tape. And then she said other people was also getting threatening messages. We only saw the one message that he sent out about the sex tape, but she made it sound like it was plural. Like he was using threats and doing certain things as a whole. She didn't want to get her husband involved, get her husband in jail. So she fired a temporary protection order at this time. I want to know what their 4th of July was like. Did everybody come?
Well, Tamika probably hung out with Candi and Tiny. She wasn't with the family because we already know Mama Estate is gonna rock with Tasha. Like we saw how that was. She wasn't neutral at all. She wasn't supporting both daughters. She went with this one. We don't know what she was going through. She's telling me, girl, Now I don't care what you're going through. You don't get to steal money from me. Like you don't. It don't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you're my mother, my child, my sister, my cousin, or a stranger on the street, you don't get to steal money from me.
Thousands of dollars. We talking about thousands.
I mean, the amount
thousands.
Okay, so the amount is a big deal, right? But it's really not, because you low as hell if you would steal $20 from me. You know what I mean? Like if we family and we friends and I love you as my family, you can ask me for $20, but you would steal it from me. Of course, you're gonna steal 20,000, 30,000. You know what I'm saying? Like that just shows.
I'm way more like inclined to forgive $20 than 20,000. So when you do like a petty theft, I really think like you must have needed it that bad that you had to steal this little punk ass $20 and couldn't talk to me. I do think the amount for me, yes, it's the principle, but the lengths you will go to steal thousands of dollars is a lot when you think about it. Yeah, you could take $5 off of a night dresser, but if your sister stole your whole paycheck, so you were able to do all these elaborate things, it's so much more like intention. Behind it to make me broke, ho. I ought to beat Latasha ass. I still don't know how they did that.
It's a whole system, and I guess because their tax bracket is higher than mine.
No, she said they was broke. Remember, she said Ocean was going to school, pregnant, all this. No, they ain't had no money. Ain't nobody had no money.
Right. Because 20, like to steal 30,000 from somebody, that's like big, right? But I guess y'all hanging with Candi and Housewives and shit. They be getting $1 million.
They wasn't hanging with nobody. I don't even know if she was hanging with Tyler Perry when that shit happened. Nobody. The sisters were not making that type of money.
Right.
Like I think during that time, Tiny was probably on one of her reality shows. Candi was on Housewives and doing her thing. They were not making that type of money, the Scott sisters. And you stole 30,000 that we know of, and she told us it was more than that.
It was more than that, right?
I still would be beating her ass.
Like my nosiness really wants to like be a fly on the wall in their lives to see what the hell they was doing, because they are still in a different tax bracket than me even then. So like now that you got this extra money of your sisters, right, that you're stealing, what are you doing with that money?
Just like, okay, so I think we got to think of it as a regular thing. Yeah, their tax bracket is higher, but it's just like people get tax income checks and people be like, oh my God, y'all gonna blow y'all tax income money. It may sound like a lot of money, but comparable to your bills or what you need to do with it, it's not.
Right.
So we might get, some people range from $0 to maybe like $8,000 worth back of taxes, but 8,000 means you got a pretty big household. Right. That 8,000 may only last you a month and a half once you buy all your kids stuff, right? So the stealing of the money gives me broke.
Yeah.
Like y'all probably were very behind on the bill matter that y'all could afford.
Yeah. I get that. I guess I'm trying to figure out if Tasha was in a better financial place. Maybe they was all just broken. Didn't she say it was all staying with her mom at one point?
Yes, she said everybody was broke, and you took the little bit of change I had. Yeah, do you understand? I still would have been beating Latasha's ass today. Y'all still would have had to get me out of her ass. Yeah, and then the fact that she had
her daughter was in college. Yeah, you was really like
was wrong. See what I'm saying? $20, the big scheme of things of like the 30,000, and then you done forged paperwork and started a Gmail. It's just so much deeper than the $5 on my nightstand.
Right. And you
can get past that.
You really, like scheme took I do remove Tasha from it a little bit because I know it was her husband. But the fact that she was, like she said in that thing, like knowing your husband doing anything shady, once you find out, it ain't no, hold on, sis, I'm sorry, what the fuck, like cussing your husband out, like, because again, like this is family. Like y'all
keep acting, her and Tamika and them keep acting like Tasha at this point and an ace coon boo coon. I think that Tasha is extremely complicit. Maybe when they were younger, I think they met Rocky when they was like 18, 19, sure.
She been with him
her grown ass, and whenever that money was stole, I believe she helped okay that motherfucking scheme. I think she is just
stolen to get stuff to look nice on R&B Divas or to upgrade their house. So when they was on R&B Divas, she ain't look trash. Like that's probably what it was.
They probably were renting like a house or an Airbnb.
Yeah,
I don't think we had Airbnb back then, but like a house to make
it. They had vacation homes back then. I mean, it wasn't called Airbnb, but yeah, extended stays, nice ones.
Do you think you can come back to your sister if you had to file a protection order against her husband?
No, it's a wrap. Like that is, unless she divorces him, and then try to double back and say, I'm sorry, it's all on, try to put it all on him. But seriously, like at this point, Latasha, you're going to have to do some self-evaluation and some therapy to figure out. Because even if it's because of your grooming and you was raised to be like this from Rocky, he trains you to be this person, you need to unpack it and get better because that ain't cute. And I wouldn't want a relationship with someone like you again, even though he's now gone. Like, this is how you were taught. This is what you're going to go to. I don't want a relationship with you. You still
and remember, we see Mama Gloria. So you were already toxic probably before you got your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to be honest. I would not reconcile with my sister. I would forgive her. So I wouldn't be carrying around anger. You know what I mean? But it'd be in private, bitch. You won't get that I forgive you out loud out of my mouth. Right. And I don't think I could ever be at a barbecue with you. It'd be too much.
But they all have kids too, right? Like nieces and nephews and stuff like that. But
girl, young Naya be wanting to fight. Ocean don't say shit. And then we got the little bitty baby that's like 11. I don't. They never give me super close.
Does Tasha have a kid?
She has one son who is like 18 or 19, maybe like Riley's age, maybe at this point.
Okay.
Maybe, or he's like 16, like, but he's older, and I don't get they're all cool.
Oh.
I don't get it. Like, if there's that much turmoil going on, I don't know if there was like a real relationship that formed amongst the cousins.
Right. I guess I just look at it like, just speaking on, I'm big on family, like big on family. My mom's side, we're really, really close, right? We are very close. My dad's side, we're not so close. And I think my dad, when he met my mom, he desired that. So it's moments where he would try to create that, get his cousins together, do more stuff with his family. So like my mom's sister, my aunt, she got 2 kids. That's our little, you know what I mean? Like we close, like we just real close. But there are moments when my mom and her sister, they bicker. You know what I mean? Because they're 13 years apart and they just bicker. That's what they do. And when they bicker, like my mom might be in the wrong, right? But that's my auntie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my auntie though. Like, so just because y'all beefing don't mean I'm in that. I still call my aunt. What's up, Nina? How you doing? Like I still do it.
But y'all have more positive than negative experiences because y'all had that concept of family. Yeah. Tamika Latasha gives me that y'all had a lot of issues that were swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it was as genuine of a connection because you was up here crying on our TV screen about always feeling isolated and that you had to go along with the get along. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe that the cousins are really that close, unfortunately.
Okay.
I just want Tamika to go to a barbecue. I feel like that was the only new information that we got from Tamika was that she told us there was a temporary protection order that was granted. Mm-hmm. With Rocky, and that does say a lot. Protection orders are not easy to get. You can't just go in there with the judge with like, oh, this person is calling me 5 times in a row. Like, you really do have to go in there with something. Mm-hmm. And then you got to prove it come from that person. That's another thing. So there was enough evidence to get a TPO. Oh, baby, me and my sister can't go because there's enough evidence for a judge to say that he can't be around me and you still with him.
Right. Yeah.
No, ma'am.
I don't see Tasha coming back to the group. I do see
she will.
What happens? She'll divorce Rocky. He gotta go. Rocky is gonna be your get back in card. Any other way, I don't see it.
You know what? Because they also gullible at the same time. Mm-hmm. I don't even think it'll take for Rocky to be gone. I think it will take Rocky. Like, I think she will make false promises about Rocky not being in their business. Mm. And I think they will forgive her just because of all the years that they have. That's her sister. I think I would be surprised if Tasha really got to work to get back in that goddamn group when the second album does 2 recycling cans. I doubt it. We will see. I mean, that was pretty much to speak on it. That was the highlight. Everything else was stuff that if you followed the show,
yeah.
I mean, they kind of, rediscussed. I kind of feel like that was a missed opportunity. I thought maybe we were going to talk more about how the threesome is working.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about have they expanded thinking about new music. So I thought they were going to talk more about the threesome and basically if they were touching on Latasha just about whether or not they feel as a group she should come back. But then I didn't need to know nothing else about Latasha Scott because we're done with her. Y'all might not be. We're not here for it.
I'm with it.
We don't know her like that.
I would have also liked a quick little snippet about how y'all did SWV wrong and you felt bad that y'all drama outpowered.
I would like to have seen if after the social media content, some time to think about it, what would you have done differently with the SWV and things show? And the fact that this was another great highlight. Latasha to this day didn't say that she was getting a record deal. So when they found out from Taj,
right,
that was it. Mm-hmm. She never said.
Never told them.
With them.
Behind the scenes, she said no. We didn't know at all, nothing. Like, that's rude as hell. That girl is okay.
Listen, again, I'd have still been beating her ass from 2022. Ain't no way you can get me off that ass.
Listen, if she get back in the group, they like it. And if they like it, I love it. So, hey.
They better not come with one more motherfucking tear because y'all keep letting her ass come in there and wreck y'all peace. So, if y'all take her back until our first set of notes are applied, we don't want to see no more tears. Y'all going to have to take what you take because now you're being accepting to the type of abuse that she brings in these dynamics and relationships. What do you think it is about Latasha in general that just makes her to the point that she would even do her sister? Like, we understand her jealousy with Candi. I think it's because she has the better voice in air quotes, right? That she just felt like she should have made it further, and she was the lead singer at one point. But what do you think it is that she chose Tiny over her own fucking sister? Are you like? Do you think she's also equally jealous of Tamika?
Yes, Tamika is the cuter sister. She was. I mean, no, not like I'm saying that, Karma. I'm not saying it like that, but I feel like growing up.
It's okay. Say what you
like growing up, she was the one that was chosen more because she was smaller. Guys might thought she was cuter. Like, you know what I mean? She was that sister. When you got them sister dynamics, they do have one that be like, oh, the smart one, or oh, you the responsible one, but you the hot one, you the sexy one, you this one, that one, or whatever. So she might have had a feeling, and I don't necessarily mean that she looked better because they sisters or whatever. They look alike to me or whatever, but being that she was a plus size girl and she also would get teased more, self-esteem, like just that issues. I think that her sister was probably chosen more by stuff she liked. So what she had to go on was she could sing. And oh, you trying to sing too? Like, like this is my thing.
Right.
This is your thing. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I do think Tamika has been, I don't want to say more talent, but has been able to showcase more of her talents than Latasha. And I think that pisses Latasha off. Now, I don't know what it is with Tiny that this shit don't bother Tiny. Like, you can be around Tiny because Tiny has still never been broke. But I don't know if that's because Tiny didn't, like, after Escape, if we're going to be honest, I don't know Tiny outside of T.I.
Right. Right.
You know, I can't think of no real project she's done. You know, she's done reality shows, but, you know, individual, I don't know her identity outside of T.I. and Escape. No clothing line. She was like, you know, the momager of OMG. But, you know, I didn't see her kind of foundation. Maybe that's why Latasha gravitated towards
She had tried to do a nail thing. I know she tried to do a couple of stuff, but seriously, once and those type of things when she would do her own little stuff, it'd be when she was on the outs with T.I. And then when he would come back, he would dominate. And
he would dominate it.
He would just be on see about it, hear about it. Like it was like, look, you know what I mean? So we don't.
I feel like Tiny and Latasha kind of bonded because both their husbands is trash, low key.
Hey. Trauma bond.
It might be crazy, but just like the way that their energy kind of dominates the atmosphere, I feel like they could bond a lot on that as opposed to, you know, Candi's husband and
Tamika's husband, because she loved
Tamika's husband. I think that also played a role. Yeah, I think the family dynamics also played a role in her gravitating towards Tiny.
Yeah.
Like Tiny gets it. Tiny gets why I have to follow Rocky Lee because she got to follow T.I.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean? So I feel like they bonded on a series of trauma levels.
They got a trauma bond. So
I feel like that. I don't even think it's a real friendship. I think it's more of a trauma bond.
And they both been with these guys for long times too.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
And they both been cheated on.
For a very long time.
And they both been embarrassed in the media. And a lot of different similarities that I do think that they have a deeper trauma bonding level than probably positivity. Which is why we can see Tiny outside of T.I. or outside of certain trauma-filled situations, and she's more likable. Way more likable as a personality.
Okay. So, all right, listen, I think the ladies are coming back next week, so we'll get to actually get back to the show. I'm thinking. Yep.
And that's to speak on it. That was it. That was to speak on it.
That was it. Moving on, y'all. Moving on.